osmosis and osmotic pressure. See, there are many phenomena which were observed in nature or at home. For example, raw mangoes sold when pickled in brine solution, that is in salt water. Wilted flowers revive when placed in fresh water. Blood cells collapse so when suspended in saline water. See, the so many things like that. See, if we look into these process, we find one thing common in all. That is, all these substances are bound by membranes. So these membranes can be animal or vegetable origin, and these occur naturally, such as pig's bladder or parchment, or can be synthetic, such as cellophane, like this. Okay, so these membranes appear to be a continuous sheet or film, yet they contain network of submicroscopic folds or porous. So, small solvent molecules like water can pass through these folds, but the passage of the bigger molecules like solute is hindered. The membrane having kind of the properties are called semi-permeable membrane. That SPM is semi-permeable membrane, and this is a solution and this is a solvent. Okay, so assume that the only solvent molecule can pass through these semi-permeable membranes. Okay, if the membrane is placed between the solvent and solution, so this is the solvent and the solution. So what happens? The solvent molecules will flow through the membrane from pure solvent to the solution. So this process of flow of solvent is called osmosis. Osmosis means what? Process of flow of the solvent. So that is called osmosis. The flow will continue till the equilibrium is attained. So the flow of the solvent from its side to solution side across the semi-permeable membrane can be stopped if some extra pressure is applied on the solution. So this pressure that just stops the flow of solvent is called osmotic pressure of the solution. Okay. See, the flow of solvent from dilute solution, the concentrated solution across the semi-permeable membrane is due to the osmosis. So the important point to keep in mind that solvent molecules always flow from lower concentration to higher concentration. This is lower concentration to higher concentration of the solution. So the osmotic pressure has been found to depend upon the concentration of the solution. Next, the osmotic pressure of a solution is excess pressure that must be applied to the solution to prevent the osmosis. So that is the to stop the passage of solvent molecule through a semi-permeable membrane. That is SPM. That is the semi-permeable membrane into the solution. So you can see here, this is solution and this is solvent. So this having in middle between this semi-permeable membranes are here. So the osmotic pressure is colligative properties, as it depends on the number of solute molecules and not on their identity. Okay, for a dilute solution, it has been found experimentally that is osmotic pressure is proportional to the molarity concentration of the solution at a given temperature. Simply we can write it pi, capital Pi is equal CRT. Here the pi is an osmotic pressure, R is the gas constant and T is the temperature. Here the instead of concentration we can write it like pi is equal to N2 by V RT. Here the V is the volume of the solution that is later containing, then N2 is moles of solute. There is number of moles of solute, that is W2 grams of solute. Molar mass, already we know that there is M2 present in the solution. Then we can write it N2 is equal to W2 divided by M2, weight of solute divided by molar mass of the solute. After that we can rewrite that is N2, just substitute this value in this. So V bring in this side, left hand side, sigma pi V is equal W2 RT divided by M2. Okay, or we can calculate for suppose if we calculate the M2 means M2 is equal W2 RT divided by pi V. So you can use it for M2 calculation and you can use it for the pi calculation for this formula. We knowing that the W2 pi and V can calculate the molar mass of the solute. So measurement of the osmotic pressure provides another method of the determining, that is molar mass of the solute. So this method is widely used to determine molar mass of the protein, polymers and their macromolecules. So the osmotic pressure method has advantage over other method as pressure measurement is around the room temperature and their molarity of the solution is used instead of molality. Okay. Then as compared to the colligative property, its magnitude is large even for very dilute solution. The technique of osmotic pressure for determination of molar mass of solute is particularly useful for the biomolecules as they are generally not stable at high temperature and polymers have poor solubilities. Okay. The two solutions having the same osmotic pressure at a given temperature, usually they are called isotonic solution. The such solution separated by the semi-permeable membrane, no osmosis occur between them. For example, osmotic pressure associated with the fluid inside the blood cell equivalent to the equivalent that is 0.9% mass, that is mass by volume. The sodium chloride solution, that is the normal saline solution, safe to inject or intravenously. So on the other hand, if we place the cell in a solution containing more than 9% means mass by volume, the sodium chloride, water will flow out the cell of they would shrink, and such a solutions are called hypertonic solution. So the salt concentration is less than 0.9% means mass by volume, the solution is called hypotonic. Greater than means hypertonic. Okay. See, the next is a reverse osmosis and water purification. Osmosis and water purification. See, the direction of osmosis can be reversed if a pressure is larger than the osmotic pressure is applied to the solution side. So that is, now the pure solvent flows out of the solution through the semi-permeable membrane. So this is called reverse osmosis, and there is a great practical utility. The reverse osmosis is used for desalination of the seawater. Look at the reverse osmosis pressure. This in this side, that is on left hand side, is fresh water, and here the salt water. The pressure is applied in the direction. There is the piston. So only the fresh water, that is the water outlet. When pressure is more than the osmotic pressure is applied, pure water is squeezed out the seawater through the membrane. Then here, this is a semi-permeable membrane. This is the semi-permeable membrane. A variety of polymer membranes are available for this purpose. So the pressure is required for the reverse osmosis quite high. A workable porous membrane is a film of cellulose acetate placed over the suitable support. Cellulose acetate is permeable to water but impermeable to impurities and ions present in the seawater. So these days many countries use desalination plants to meet their potable water requirement. Abnormal molar masses. See, we know that the ionic compounds when dissolved in water dissociate into cations and anions. For example, if we dissolve 1 mole of KCl, that is 1 mole of potassium chloride, that is 74.5 gram. that is in water, we expect 1 mole of each K plus and Cl minus ions to be released in the solution. So if this happens, there would be 2 molecules of particles in solution. If we ignore the interionic attraction, that is 1 mole of KCl in 1 kilogram of water would be expected and increase the boiling point by 2 into 0.52 Kelvin. That is the boiling point of water. So 0.52. So if we come 1.04 Kelvin. See here, the 2 is the number of ion dissociate. Here 1 plus, that is K plus, and 1 Cl minus. So that 2 into that water, boiling point of water is 0.52 Kelvin. So it will become 1.04 Kelvin. So now if we did not know about the degree of the dissociation, suppose this means that degree of dissociation mean what? The KCl dissociate into K plus and Cl minus. If we not know, mean that is mass of 2 moles of particles into 74.5 gram, the mass of 1 mole of KCl would be 37.25 divided by 2. Okay. So this brings into the light the rule that when there is a dissociation of solute into ions, the experimentally determined molar mass is always lower than the true value. So molecules of acetic acid dimerize become due to the hydrogen bonding. For example, the molecule of acetic acid CH3COOH. So the dimerize form is what? CH3COOH twice. So this is the dimerase form. So we can write it, the dimerase form in the intermolecular hydrogen bonding like this. So CH3 double bond O, here O H, so this is the hydrogen bonding in between the two acetic acid molecule. Here the double bond. Okay. So this normally happens in solvent of low dielectric constant. In this case of the number of particles reduced to the to dimerization. So association of the molecule is like this. Okay. So it can be undoubtedly stated here that if all the molecules of ethanoic acid, that is the acetic acid, associate in benzene, that then the delta Tb and delta R, delta Tf, freezing point and the boiling point of ethanoic acid, will be half of the normal value. So the molar mass calculated on the basis of the delta Tb R and the delta Tf will therefore be twice the expected value. Such a molecular that is the molar mass that is either lower or higher than the expected or normal value is called abnormal molar mass. Okay. In 1880, Van 't Hoff introduced a factor, that is the I, Van 't Hoff factor, known as the Van 't Hoff factor, to account for the extent of dissociation or association. So usually we can define the I is equal to normal molar mass divided by abnormal molar mass. Normal molar mass divided by abnormal molar mass. Or we can write it observed colligative property divided by the calculated colligative property, or we can write it that is total number of moles of particle after association or dissociation divided by the number of moles of particle before association or dissociation. See here, the abnormal molar mass is the experimentally determined. The molar mass and calculated colligative properties are obtained by assuming that the non-volatile solute is neither associate nor dissociate. So in the case of association, the value is I less than unity, while for dissociation is greater than unity. For example, the value of I aqueous solution of that is aqueous solution is close to 2 means close to 2 means, while the value for the ethanoic acid benzene is nearly 0.5. Okay. That is inclusion of Van 't Hoff factor modifies the equation for the colligative properties. Usually the relative lowering the vapor pressure of solvent, already we know that. So P naught, P naught 1 minus P1 divided by P naught 1 is equal to I N2 divided by N1. Right? So you have to put the I, that is the Van 't Hoff factor. Elevation of boiling point, we can write it for delta TB. Delta TB is equal to I into KB into M. For delta TF, freezing point, I into KF into M. Osmotic pressure of the solution we can write the similar way, that is pi is equal to N, that is I into N2 by V into RT. So these are the relation. Thank you, student.